Yes.
Yes. No, yes.
Yep.
Under functions. And the little subheading would be graphing them. Little star here, graphing. Let's just go with a very, very simple little function. See that one? Tell me you can't see that.
I can say there's 3 of them.
I know, there's that whole row right here, and then there's this and this that goes right there. Let's say you get a job, which I'm sure none of you want, and this job pays, I don't know, let's say you're working for $8 an hour, which I think babysitters are way overpaid, but that's just my opinion. What's the going rate for babysitting? Anybody? Who's my professional babysitters here? Anybody?
Like $7.
Emily, what do you get per hour, per child?
I don't get any money.
I would say like
Wait,
$7.
Are you talking about babysitting siblings?
Well, like normally I give like $5 if I'm babysitting like other kids
$5 per person per hour?
per hour.
Per kid. So if you like babysat 3 kids, would
4
you get?
kids, $5 an hour.
Okay, you're grossly underpaid.
$7. I would go for $7.
Alright, well, whatever. $8 an hour. We can write ourselves a little function. What do you suppose that function would be? And by the way, when you talk function, just think about what the formula would be. And it would be this, right? The amount of money you make, how much you make, what letter could I, your money, would equal what? How would you figure out how much money you make? If you're making $8 an hour, you work for 3 hours, how do you figure out how much you make? What would Chase, what could I put down there?
800.
8 times, well, I don't know it's 3 because I want to do it for anything, so times number of hours, right? Right? 8 times however many hours is going to give you the money you make. Is that good? Everybody happy with that? But instead of this, let's do what usually math people do. They don't use those M's. They usually use the letter Y for this one. And they usually use the letter X for this one. So here's our little, this is our function. If we were to graph this, the first thing we would do is make ourselves a little table. And I don't mean a coffee table or a dining table or whatever. I mean one of these. You have X and Y numbers, right? We're just going to draw a little graph of, before we go babysit, we make an $8 an hour babysitting, sure, of how much money we could make. For example, if I babysat for 0 hours and didn't get the job, how much money am I going to make?
0.
I know that's hard. I put 0 in for X, 8 times 0 is 0. I work for just 1 hour, I'm going to get,
8.
you guys are very quick. Emily, when you babysit for absolutely $5 an hour, how long do you usually babysit for?
That depends. Like I babysit.
Let's just give me a ballpark. I'm not looking for anything. 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours?
3.
So 3 hours. So you're gonna, well, if you're working for $8 an hour, you'd make $24, right? Everybody good with that? And let's say you work for 10 hours, you would get $80. Not bad deal. Now, with this, please jot this down. The X numbers in math, when we talk about functions, we call these the domain numbers. Don't ask why. I won't tell you why. I don't know why. And then the Y numbers, but this will come up a lot more next year, are called the range numbers. Just know that because the book will ask you questions about what is the domain of the function and what is the range of the function, blah, 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 and such that, and that sort of thing. Okay? We, before, talked about this, these, and also being the domain numbers, they are the input numbers. And guess what the range numbers are? The output. See how clever we are? And then if we were actually graphing this, have we graphed this stuff before? Have we not? I thought we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do we graph these? Well, these numbers here are nothing more than ordered pairs. you just make a pair out of them, put parentheses around them, comma between them. Probably don't want to do 324, that might be out of my range. Or domain. So when you graph these on your little piece of homework paper, it would look like this. 0.00 is where? Right here, right? 1/8 would be where? One spot over and 8 spots up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 324 would be 3 over and 24 up. By the way, this will end up being a nice straight line. This would be the graph of, I guess I have to go all the way over here. That. Does that sound exciting or not? Now in this case, this happened to be a special one. Okay, this one is, again, I'm consulting the book. This one is, I want to say it exactly, a direct proportion, direct proportional function. And quite often the book will ask you if something is proportional, and you just need to know these two facts. Have we talked about proportional things before? No. Two things have to happen for a line to show you a proportion. Number one, it must go through the origin. It must go through the origin. And we all know the origin is where? This point right here. Must go through the origin, and number two, it must be a straight line. If it's not a straight line, or it does not go through the origin, it is not a proportion. It must be a straight line. Those two things. If they ever ask you to tell if a graph is proportional, you have to look at it that way. See if there's anything else they ask us. Is there something else? Oh. There are things here I don't even want to talk about. Can I tell you that? And since I am the dictator and the monarch, I think I will not talk about this. If that doesn't make a lot of sense to you right now, don't worry. It will come up again. We will talk more about it. It's whatever. This is just kind of like getting your feet wet in the whole thing. It's a little like your video games that you play, Caleb, right? The very first time you play a video game, you don't understand it, right? It does some things don't make sense. Yeah? And then the more and more you play the video games, things start kind of coming around. That is the same thing that this whole function, domain, range, input, output, proportion, sort of stuff will come around. So, are you concerned about this as I am or no? How do you think I can fix that?
Take a credit card and light it up.
It won't, because it doesn't go away.
Google it.
Huh?
Google it maybe. Are you allowed to take it back off?
You can take it back off. It's paint. You can take
Oh, that's paint? I thought it was like a peel-off thingy.
It's paint with black tape surrounding it.
Oh.
Well,
It's the wall.
it's just going to peel off. And then so, I'm sorry, what was your question?
Does it have to be both of those things?
Yes, both of them have to be true. Here, let me give you a quick little quiz. Look. Is this line proportional? No. Why? Correct. Is this line proportional? Why? There you go. So you get a straight line that goes through the origin. Sorry, I misled it. Make it a really wide straight line. Is that proportional? Yes. Just has to fit those two things. Is babysitting proportional? Usually yes. Generally speaking, yes. Does it make any difference? I don't know.